Welcome once again to my channel. I still remain Koto Jacinta Lukwi. So today I'm going to take you through information sources. Briefly, I'll take you through the definition of information sources. Then under information sources, we are going to learn the key areas we're going to learn. We shall learn primary versus secondary sources. Then we shall learn scholarly versus popular information sources. We shall learn the format types and then published information sources. So, brief definition of information sources. Information sources, these are different places or materials from which we obtain information, knowledge, or data. For example, primary, secondary, scholarly, and popular sources. So, as earlier on, as I stated, the key areas we're going to learn are primary versus secondary sources, scholarly versus popular sources, format types, then published information sources. So on primary versus secondary sources, here you can see the primary sources, they provide original first-hand information, while the secondary sources provide second-hand information based on primary source. Now, what does it mean here? The primary source, it's like me writing my own book, the article, then me, I am the primary what? Source. That book of mine is the primary source, and then someone else goes and reads that book, then finds some information and tries to use it and cites that one, it becomes a secondary source. Now what that person writes out of what I already wrote is what's called secondary source, meaning it's trying to tell you that it got the information from the primary source. Yeah, that's what I can say. And then the primary sources, the information is direct from the creator or witness. Yeah, as earlier on stated from here, that if I'm the writer, the person who writes the book or an article, that means it is direct from me, the creator or the witness. Then the secondary source, it is from other people's work, like that person trying to read from my own book, from my own article, and then tries to figure out and writes, comes up with some other information. It's like tries to analyze that information. So that person creates it out of my own work. That's the meaning. Then under primary sources, they are raw and not interpreted. So the way I write, it is direct from me, the way I've put it in my own understanding. Then for the secondary source, they analyze, explain, and interpret primary sources. Like another person can go and read your article or the book. Let's say maybe Chinua Achebe. Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe is the original writer. So it brings that information the way it is. Then another person goes and explains. Now it analyzes and explains and interprets the primary source. Like analyzing, maybe let's say there are proverbs always used in that book of Things Fall Apart. Then a person tries to explain the meaning of the proverb in his own words. That's what is called. The person analyzes and explains or interprets that primary source. And then examples are, for the primary sources, examples are interviews, diaries, experiments, original research reports. Yeah. Then the secondary sources, its examples are textbooks, articles, biographies, and review papers. Okay, that's that on that. Then let's go on scholarly versus popular. Now here, scholarly sources are written by experts for academic or research purposes, while popular sources are written for the general public. Authors are researchers, professors, and scholars for scholarly sources. And then on the other hand, the authors are journalists, writers, and media personalities. On scholarly sources, language is formal, technical, and academic, while on the popular sources, they use simple and easy language. On scholarly sources, the evidence is based on research, data, and references, while popular sources, little or no detailed evidence. Sometimes just put your information and people just go with it. So on scholarly sources, still, it's peer reviewed. That's to say it's checked by experts. While the popular sources, it's not peer reviewed. Like there is no need. Okay, experts do not check, do not go through it. Like now saying professors going through the information to find whether it is the reliable information or it's true. No, popular sources is just the way it is. Once it is published, it's just like that. Then the structure of the scholarly sources, it includes abstract, introduction, methodology, and then results. For popular sources, there's no strict what? It has no strict structure. Okay. Then we go on the format types of information sources. Format types, it's like how they appear, how the information sources sometimes appear. So the format types, how would you define it? It refers to the different forms in which information is presented or stored. Yeah. So number one, we have the print format. The print format information, it is information in physical form. Examples, books, newspapers, or magazines. Physical forms here means hard copy, let's say a paper. Yeah. Then we have electronic or digital format. That's information stored and accessed electronically, for example, ebooks, websites, and online journals. We have the audio format. That is information in sound form. For example, radio programs, we have podcasts and recordings here. And then we have the visual format. For the visual format, information is in image or picture form. For example, photographs, charts, and diagrams. Like they can draw for you a diagram or a picture of something, and then you will be able, out of what you're seeing, you'll be able to interpret and generate information about that picture. You can be like, maybe these are people in a club dancing, what like that. Or maybe a hospital, they can give you a picture of maybe patients, what you're able to interpret that, yeah, this is a hospital, and this is where, yeah. So then we have the last one, which is audio visual format. Now, the audio visual format, this is a combination of the visual and the audio, the visuals and sound. For example, videos and then films or documentaries. Now, for videos, you can be seeing the pictures as well, and then of course the audio, you'll also be able to listen what it is trying to say. Okay, that's that on format types of information sources. Let's go into published information sources. Here, published information sources, its examples, we have journals, books, conference papers, reports, and then grey literature. So this is the type, this is a description, then the examples. I did it like that to simplify. So under journals, journals are periodical publications containing research articles by experts. Examples are medical journals, then education journals. We have books. Books are detailed written works on specific subjects. Examples are textbooks and academic books. Then we have conference papers, and conference papers, these are research presented at academic or professional meetings. So examples are science or engineering conference papers. Yeah, we have reports. These are official documents giving information or research findings, as you can see. And then examples are government reports and NGO reports. NGO means here non-governmental organization reports. So for those who didn't know what's called, you know, there are some people who know it as NGO, but they don't know in full. So it's non-governmental organization reports. Now we have what's called grey literature. Now, grey literature here, these are materials which are not formally published by commercial publishers. Examples are university theses and dissertations, working papers, then policy papers. So that's all I had for you about information sources. Thank you for watching. Then of course, do not forget to subscribe, like, and share for more information. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Bye. See you in my next video.